The American technology sector has spent recent years projecting an image of a domestic industry that commands the global standard for machine intelligence. Titans like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic are widely considered the undisputed leaders in artificial intelligence, producing models that the U.S. government now treats as critical national security assets. To protect these assets, Washington has imposed strict export controls, recently placing a 19-day restriction on the international release of Claude's Fable and Mythos models. Yet this defensive posture creates a massive contradiction. The United States government is aggressively locking the front door, while the back door to American enterprise remains wide open. The strategy of a digital fortress America relies on rigid borders, completely ignoring the fluid, cost-driven behavior of the free market. This visualization illustrates a staggering shift in data flow. According to CNBC, between 30 and 46% of all U.S. enterprise AI token usage is secretly bypassing domestic providers and routing directly to Chinese models. The testing ground for this shift is OpenRouter, a neutral developer platform where global companies audition and deploy AI models for their daily operations. We see this shift clearly on this racing bar chart tracking weekly volume on the platform. The dominant player rapidly accelerating into first place isn't an American tech giant. It is the Chinese smartphone manufacturer Xiaomi, securing a 21.1% market share with its MiMo-V2-Pro model. When the view zooms out, the traditional market leader OpenAI remains locked in a distant position, capturing a mere 7.5% of the usage on the exact same platform. To understand the physical scale of that lead, consider the raw data volume. Xiaomi is currently processing 4.21 trillion tokens every single week. A foreign hardware company, historically known for producing consumer electronics, has quietly usurped the most advanced American research labs in enterprise coding volume. Curious. The immediate question is how thousands of U.S. developers were convinced to abandon domestic infrastructure for foreign alternatives. This minimalist interface represents the core mechanism of developer adoption. In blind testing environments, engineers evaluate the outputs of competing AI models side by side, entirely stripped of branding or corporate identity. Chinese tech firms exploit this pure meritocracy through a tactic of silent trust building. They launch highly capable models anonymously, prioritizing raw developer reliance over public relations. By the time the parent company officially claims ownership of the model, developers are already hooked. The AI is already integrated into the complex coding pipelines of Western businesses. This strategy only works if the technology delivers, and models like Z.AI's GLM-5.2 provide exactly that level of competency. In standardized evaluations, GLM-5.2 matches the absolute top-tier models from Anthropic and OpenAI across highly complex coding and reasoning benchmarks. When operating in a strict technical environment, brand loyalty and national origin are instantly erased by raw mathematical performance. But the final, most devastating wedge driving this corporate takeover comes down to aggressive, bottom-up pricing. Running the infrastructure seen in this massive server farm requires intense capital. U.S. companies demand premium prices just to cover the staggering energy and hardware costs of maintaining these systems. Chinese developers are offering their highly capable models at a fraction of that cost, making the switch financially irresistible to enterprise software teams looking to scale. This severe undercutting has triggered a panicked reaction from American tech giants, forcing them to rapidly slash their own operating margins to retain users. We see this in OpenAI's reactive launch of the GPT-5.6 Luna budget tier, dropping prices to just $1 per million tokens, simply to stop the bleeding. The race to achieve artificial general intelligence has devolved from a philosophical pursuit into a ruthless race-to-the-bottom commodity war. The consequence of this pricing war extends far beyond corporate balance sheets. It creates a massive security vulnerability for the United States. To utilize these cheaper Chinese models, U.S. enterprises are actively feeding their proprietary code, internal business strategies, and raw operational data into foreign servers every single day. These red data streams reflect a looming crisis of data sovereignty. The market has no clear answer for where exactly this volume of American corporate information is being processed, or which foreign entities possess the ability to access and analyze it. The contradiction is stark. While federal authorities attempt to regulate AI as a geopolitical weapon, U.S. corporations eagerly offshore their internal data processing to save fractions of a cent per token. The blind demands of capitalism and cheap efficiency have directly circumvented America's deepest national security protocols. The mainstream narrative of total American AI supremacy is a comfortable myth that ignores the reality of the global supply chain. The fact that a Chinese smartphone manufacturer can capture a 21% market share on a major Western developer platform proves that market control is moving away from Silicon Valley. Look closely at the sheer volume of global enterprise data surging through these hidden, underwater fiber optic networks today. While headlines focus on research labs and press conferences, the critical movement occurs through the bottom-up integration of foreign models into global enterprise infrastructure. The AI race didn't end with the launch of ChatGPT. The invisible war for global routing has only just begun.